welcome everyone to my honor project about population model. Because we're going to have so much time in this time. So my project will be based on the data about the population growth rate, the carrying capacity, and the population size and other independent factors that I can be able to come up with a math equation that help us to predict the change of population over time. So as I've learned on the internet, there are two different kinds of population growth model. The exponential growth model, and which can be applied to population model in laboratory when we study bacteriology and microbiology. And the second one was the growth rate and carrying capacity that can be applied to animal population and human population in real life. So in this semester, I will focus on the definition of basic concepts and the application of the exponential rules. So this is my working process. So there are 5 checkpoints for my process. Understand the definition concept of the exponential growth model. Use the example to explain the basic concepts of the exponential growth model. Form an equation this model. Then I have the application of the equation strongly focused on data, table, and graph. And then I have a final paper that includes all the results of each checkpoint for my projects. So these 5 checkpoints. And I will go through 8 checkpoints. So for checkpoint number 1 is the definition and basic concepts of the exponential growth model. I try to figure out the meaning of the term population growth rate, which is really important to understand this topic. And one of the most important concepts of the exponential growth model is the population species will increase faster and faster over time regarding to the population size. This is graph the exponential growth model. So in checkpoint number 2, I give an example of the exponential growth model and I use bacteria for my example. So as I have already studied in biology, bacteria produce a variation that is split in half, and the time between divisions is usually about an hour. So let's take a quick look. So for example, I have 2 bacteria on the flask. So after 1 hour, each of 2 bacteria will reproduce, and then we can have 4 bacteria on the flask. So after 2 hours, each of 4 bacteria will reproduce, and then we can have 8 bacteria on the flask. And after 3 hours, each of 8 bacteria will reproduce, and we can have 16 bacteria on the flask. So as you can see, from start to 1, I have an increase of 2 bacteria. From 1 to 2, I have an increase of 4 bacteria, and from 2 to 3, I have an increase of 8 bacteria. So as you can see, the population is increasing faster and faster over time. This is the basic concept of the exponential growth model. So in checkpoint number 3, I have a math equation for this model that have a certain population, the total population after the time t, the time that the population is growing, the variable and the natural constant. That's equal to 2.71. This is the graph of the exponential growth model. For the application of the equation, I give random data about a studying population that is 1,000 and the rate of growth that is 20% per day, and then I come up with a function representing the population over a period of time. So this is my function and my data table for this function. Also in the application of the equation, I have a graph for my function, and I use just a graph for my graph. And I try to figure out the meaning of the y-intercept, the horizontal asymptote, and the behavior of the graph. So let's talk about the y-intercept first. So this is the y-intercept graph, as you can see. And also we have b0 equals 1,000. That's also equal to the starting population of the species. So we can conclude that the y-intercept graph represents the starting population of the species. Horizontal asymptote is y equal to 0. So this is the line y equal to 0. And the graph you can see is approaching the line y equal to 0 and never touches that line. And this totally makes sense because the population of the species is always greater than 0. And the behavior of the graph. So the graph is always increasing, as you can see. The slope of the graph is getting steeper and steeper when t is increasing. In checkpoint number 5, I have a final paper for my project. So this is the work document for my paper. So this is a brief explanation of my program process and my project. So let's move forward to some questions. So explain the problem that I encountered this year and how I use my critical thinking and problem solving skill to overcome it. So unfortunately, the person who came up with the idea of population growth used calculus for his paper. And this means that all his equation and also the application of his equation based on calculus. So I have to use my critical thinking problem solving skill to come up with a different equation that doesn't require calculus to understand, because I'm only in pre-calc. So these two functions are from the exponential growth model. But the first one has a notation dn over dt that requires calculus to understand, and the second one doesn't, as I already mentioned before. So explain the situation where I have to adapt to complete my project on a checkpoint. So when I start working with my projects, I just focus on the lowest growth population because it can be applied to animal population, human population in real life. Which almost all the equations of the lowest growth is based in calculus. And my math knowledge is not good enough to explain the equations really accurately. So I change the direction of my project to the exponential growth first, and then I can have more time to work with the lowest growth of population. Also, in order to have a beautiful graph for my equation, I look on the internet and search for the application that allow me to do that. So I spend a lot of time watching YouTube video, reading many articles. I learned how to use GeoGebra to graph my function. This is the GeoGebra website. Explain the situation in which my initiative would lead to success. So not everyone can easily understand the basic concepts of the exponential growth model, because this relates to many fields. So I have to use my initiative and my creativity to come up with a new idea. Why don't we use a visual example that allow everyone to understand the basic concepts of the exponential growth model. So I spend a lot of time working with PowerPoint and reading many examples in biology books, and then I can come up with a visual example of bacteria that allow everyone to understand the basic concept behind this model, even if they don't have a good math knowledge. Which assignment achieved by machine my ability to assess and analyze information wide. So this is checkpoint number 5, which I had to work with my final paper for the project. Because actually, when I started working with my paper, I didn't know how to write the equation using Microsoft Office. I also didn't know how to graph the equation using GeoGebra. So my first solution for this problem was just I will took a photo of the equation from my notebook and put it in my final paper. But the result was not as good as I expected, and when I print the paper, I couldn't see anything. So I have to figure out and try how to write the equation using Microsoft Office and graph the equation using GeoGebra. However, I use my curiosity and imagination to achieve positive results. So basically, there are many basic concepts of population, and also like population is related to many fields. And in order to understand the basic concepts behind this model, I have to imagine an example of this model that I can easily understand these concepts of population. Have I applied what I learned in honors regular class? So when I started working on my projects, I understood about the exponential growth model and the natural constant E that is covered in Unit 3 of regular class. So when I started working with Unit 3 of regular class, we strongly focused on the exponential and logarithmic functions. I already understood about the exponential growth, and I can see the application of this model more easily than other students. So how does this project improve my skills as a communicator? Oral writing improved. So in the aspect of writing, I know how to have an organized, coherent, and beautiful academic paper for my projects, and I think it's a very important skill in college. And in the aspect of oral and speaking, I feel more confident in explaining my topic, even if it's only the second time I hear it. what is semester I'm not practicing, where do I go from here? So in this semester, I will focus on exponential growth population, which requires biology, and the application. This model can be application in laboratory, microbiology, bacteriology, and also in this semester, I will focus on the low growth population and the model of human population growth, which is something that I social study. And the application of the low growth can be from in animal population and human population real life. Because we don't have so much time, but if I have more time, I will tell you more about this. So have a benefit from WhatsApp. So I want to give special thanks to Ms. Emma Shevara, who is my instructor. She was a very wonderful teacher who always helped me get started and also answered many questions on my topic. Also, I want to give special thanks to Mr. Lassie and Dr. Friedman, who come with a very good honor programs that allow students to stay deeply about the subject that we're interested in. So this is all my POL for my projects, and I'm looking forward to for your questions and your comments. Thank you.
So first I wanted to say, just comment on how you talked about the visual piece with the exponential growth model and showing that for people who maybe don't have the math knowledge behind it. And it was so clear, and I loved that representation that you did. It was really well organized and well thought out. It made it very clear for me as an audience member. And I also wanted to comment on, I had taken a peek at this before we started, on your written project, which I just have to applaud you because you certainly learned how to reference materials and the proper formatting, your table contents, everything. It looks beautiful. So I appreciate that. That's a difficult skill because there's so many little tiny rules here and there.
You have any questions?
So I have one. So you mentioned that there was another model, based on calculus, the DNDT, I think it was.
Yeah.
So do you see yourself, obviously I imagine if you're taking pre-calculus, you probably will take calculus. So you can't really do an honors project for an AP class, sorry. But how is the model that is the calculus-based formula different than the formula that you have? In other words, they must have a different graph, right? Are they describing different types of population growth?
No, because we have a natural constant E, which I use in my is for my equation, and also in the real equation, not the exponential growth, we don't have the natural constant, which is replaced with another for the one. This is the notation the end of the dt.
So is that so that's exponential growth? Both of them are exponential growth formulas. Is that?
Yes.
And then does it shift as your carrying capacity, as you start to approach your carrying capacity?
I mean, this is the lowest growth population, the other kind of population. If you need any more, I can explain you a little bit about the lowest growth population.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Ms. Lofton. I appreciated your smiling bacteria multiplying on the teaching.
That's great.
I said that was the cutest bacteria.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Didn't even make me want to wash my hands. They just make me want to wash their hands.
And also, my project will be applied to many fields. If you have more time, you can talk more. Yeah.
So you have a pretty clear path for next semester.
Yes.
So you will continue to pursue an honors curriculum for this class.
Yeah, because these two models is related to each other. Yeah, it's a very huge connection between these two models.